Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
The medical marijuana. The medical marijuana. Radio show. The medical marijuana for you and me. Ah, yeah, the medical marijuana. Whoa, 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 ah, yeah, the medical. It's the medical marijuana show. You will know.
I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. Hey, boy, don't feel my world untrue. Yeah, I want to talk to you. My world can be true if you do what I tell you to. I want to talk to you.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Medical Marijuana Radio, and it is Saturday night, the 19th of July, 2014. I'm your host, Larry Love, and we are here every Saturday night to bring you the latest information on adult use marijuana and medical marijuana from all over the globe. And we have a lot of stuff to play and stories to read because we've been sort of missed a show on the 5th and just had a lot to do the last few weeks and you know actually since the big New Mexico debacle of rule changes, which we do have some information on. So I'm going to read a bunch of stuff. I'm going to play some music. I'll play some clips. But I want you to call in because I don't want to have to read all this stuff. It's a pain in the ass, but I will read it for you. But call in and let's talk about what's on your mind in regard to medical marijuana and adult use marijuana, which is the new term for recreational marijuana that I agree with is preferred to use instead of recreational. Adult use. It says a lot more, and I think is really what the whole legalization thing is about. So first thing we do here every Saturday here in New Mexico is we read you the strain report. These are what strains are available, and if you want the strain that you need, you've got to shop around.
You better shop around. Oh yeah, you better shop around. Shop around.
And coming up this week in Albuquerque, Cannabis will have Boss Hog, Shit, Lemon Skunk, Sour Tangy, that sounds interesting, 818 Headband, Fruit Spirit, and Blueberry Kush. Again, that's from Cannabis in Albuquerque. Also in Albuquerque at High Desert Relief, their bud this week will be AK-47, Blackberry Kush, ISS, which is Island Sweet Skunk, Mercury Kush, New York City Diesel, one of the big favorites, and Skywalker Kush. Again, that's from High Desert Relief. Over at MedZen, Super Lemon Haze, Kahuna Shark, Hash Skunk, Razzleberry, Bubba Kush, Lemon Kush, Big Bang, and Critical Mazar. Again, that's MedZen. Over at New Mexican here in Santa Fe, they have Blue Dream, LSD, Trainwreck, LA Confidential, Super Silver Haze, UBC Chemo, Medicine Man, CBD Shark Shock, Harlequin, CBD Skunk Haze, and I've heard some good things about that. Their popcorn bud, which is $32 an eighth, is Applejack, Super Silver Haze, White Shark, CBD Skunk Haze. Again, that's popcorn bud at $32 an eighth. New Mexican also has Shishka Berry and Black Dahlia that is grown by Red Barn growers, but it is available at New Mexican up here in Santa Fe. Natural RX, also down in Albuquerque. They have a lot of strains. White Berry, Grand Platinum, these are the indicas by the way, Kushberry, Bubba Kush, Blueberry, Purple Alien Fire, Mercury, Grape Ape, Purple Kush, and LA Confidential. Those are the indicas. There's sativas available. This week are Uprise OG, Skunk number 1, Blue Dream, Sage and Sour. I've heard great things about that. Shipwreck, Sour Chem, Green Crack crossed with Sour Diesel, Golden Goat, and X-Rated. Their hybrids are Flow, and these are $10 a gram. That's pretty good. Jack Frost, Pineapple Skunk, Deadhead OG, Champagne at 11 a gram, Blue Cheese at 12, and Cookie at 13. They have Kalishnikov, Skywalker OG, Sour Chem crossed with OG 18, Jedi Death Star, Girl Scout Cookie, and Rock Band. Those last two are $15 a gram, by the way. And for $9 a gram, CBD Rich Cannatonic, and special at Natural RX 7 grams. That's a quarter of Mystery Mix for $65. That's under $10 a gram. That's pretty good. And again, that's Natural RX. Over here in Santa Fe at New Mexico Top Organics, they will have Blue Cheese, Cold Creek Kush, Greenleaf, Juanita, La Lagrimosa, RAK, Sour Diesel, and White Widow. Their concentrates are an indica blend and something called Bodhi Dream. Again, that's New Mexico Top Organics. Our Greenleaf will have Cataract Kush, G13 Haze, Greenleaf, Kosher Kush, and Super Lemon Haze. Those two are two of my favorite strains. Sweet Tooth and Wow. Again, our Greenleaf. And finally, at Sandia Botanicals, Blue Dream, Critical 47, Grape God, and Shipwreck. That is the strain report. Now, let's see what we got here. First, what I'd like to do is play a clip from a station here in New Mexico regarding the rule changes, and then I'll have some comments afterwards and some information that I heard. And here is Mandy Dennison from Compassionate Distributors on this clip, and she really told it right. Everyone is very upset about the rule changes, and there was a big meeting in Taos, and I'll talk to you about that after this clip.
Green Crack, Super Silver Diesel Haze, and Snowberry. Just 3 names given to the cannabis being legally used in New Mexico to treat anything from cancer to chronic pain to post-traumatic stress disorder.
People who either are suffering from pain, want something to help them sleep, want something to really kick them in the head. You have to have indicas. We grow sativas for people who want that happy high.
Mandy Denson co-owns Compassionate Distributors dispensary in Ruidoso. She is a seasoned professional when it comes to strains and types of medical cannabis and the different kinds of relief they can facilitate. But she wasn't always. It wasn't until she saw her husband struggle with a major work injury that she really witnessed the medicinal benefits of marijuana.
My husband had an accident where he shattered both of his heels. He worked construction and he was told that he would not work again and maybe not even walk again.
The painkillers he was prescribed made it impossible for him to concentrate, and he often felt sick to his stomach and had difficulty sleeping.
He found that if he was able to smoke, he wouldn't have to rely upon the pain medications. And so he was able to get completely off of the pain medications, become his usual self again.
Denson and her husband weren't alone. She found that a lot of people in the area were self-medicating with marijuana they were buying off the street. So in 2011, they opened a dispensary in southeast New Mexico so people could medicate legally and access medicine grown to address their specific health conditions.
The general response, and I see most of it from patients, is just overwhelmingly positive. Every time I'm down there, I just have people thank us.
3 years later, Denson says with steep annual state fees and limits on how many marijuana plants they can grow, there's only so much that they've been able to do to provide patients access to the effective medicine.
Producers were running out or having to limit the amounts that they were selling to patients because they couldn't grow enough.
Proposed changes to the New Mexico medicinal program could increase the number of plants producers can grow from 150 plants to 450 at a time. Denson says given the number of patients who can't access the medicine they've been prescribed, there should be no plant limits.
If they would give us a bigger plant count, we not only would be able to grow more, but we could do it more economically, which means we could lower our prices.
Denson says getting marijuana through the state medicinal program is already so expensive that some patients have to buy it on the black market.
Also in the rules and regulations from Department of Health is a prohibition against allowing for volume discounts. So I could sell you something for $12.50 a gram, and if you wanted an ounce for it, it's still going to be priced to you at $12.50 a gram.
Denson says some patients are effectively putting their health in the hands of local drug dealers. They can't be sure of what they're getting or the effect it will have on their medical condition.
With the recreational market, you have limited availability of the strains that are coming through the area. So 1 week you may have something that is very effective for helping you go to sleep because it's more indica dominant. The next week you might have something come through that's more sativa and you try smoking it and you can't go to sleep because that's not the nature of it.
The Department of Health is proposing testing to better regulate and homogenize medicinal cannabis patients are using, and Denson says that needs to happen. But with all the limitations and fees restricting medicinal marijuana's growth and supply in the state, most dispensaries won't be able to pay for the testing to continue supplying medicinal cannabis to those that need it.
We're still paying off our debt that we incurred to start this operation, but once the debt is paid off, if we do have a surplus, which is a nonprofit term for a profit, we can pay that out in the form of subsidizing medicine for people who are low income.
Denison says if proposed changes to triple annual dispensary fees go through, it would further complicate medicinal access. But she says they will still stay in business. For KRWG, I'm Simon Thompson.
Okay, so that was a report in regard to the rule changes, and there is some news, and it's anecdotal. There's no real official news about it, but there was a meeting on Thursday, the 17th, just the other day, up in Taos with a lot of the senators here in New Mexico in regard to the medical cannabis program, and some reports from some people that came out. Joel White was there. Who is one of the heads of the New Mexico Patients Alliance in Albuquerque, and his report stated that two really good things, and hopefully it's real and there'll be an official statement in regards to this. The personal patient growers here, the PPLs, that they wanted to cut our, when I say our, I am a patient here as well, they wanted to cut our plant count from 4 flowering down to 2. And also have a criminal background check on all people who they were going to, who applied for a PPL, a patient grower's license. And that, according to what I've heard, which is great, has been thrown out, and they're not going to implement that. Again, as far as I know, it's anecdotal. I've seen nothing official about it, but if that's the way they're going, that's fantastic. And everybody's letters and passion over the last couple of months and at that DOH meeting has been listened to, and hopefully they will listen to everything else, because a lot of times when politicians do things, they throw extra crap in that they will throw away, so it feels like they're giving you something. But there's so much crap in these new rules that we still need to keep fighting. We can't be we have to stay vigilant. We can't be complacent. So also on the good news range of things, this is an article from the Santa Fe Reporter, which is very good news for New Mexico. U.S. Attorney, that means the federal attorneys here in New Mexico, say that cannabis patients won't be facing checkpoint drama. Drugged driving is still risky. This is by Peter St. Cyr, and this is from July 9th. New Mexico medical marijuana patients won't face prosecution for traveling through U.S. Customs and Border Patrol checkpoints, according to New Mexico United States Attorney Damon Martinez. But they could still have their pot seized by U.S. Customs and Border Control. Representative Bill McCamley, a Democrat from Mesilla Park, tells Santa Fe Reporter that Martinez called him last week to assure him that the federal prosecutors here are following Department of Justice enforcement guidelines outlined in an August 2013 memo prepared by the U.S. Deputy Attorney General James M. Cole. Martinez again confirmed his office policy in a letter delivered to the freshman representative on Monday. Quote, "My office has not initiated any federal prosecutions in this district originating at a CBP checkpoint or elsewhere involving persons who claimed that their marijuana in their possession was possessed in accordance with a lawfully obtained prescription," which is not the right word, it's a recommendation, issued in the state of New Mexico, writes Martinez. Still, patients who are caught drugged driving, Martinez said, could face arrest. Last summer, the Santa Fe Reporter covered a story, No Easy Ride, when then pot courier Josh Zapata said that he was forced to drive miles out of the way to deliver medication to patients in southern New Mexico. To avoid running afoul of the law, SFR watched Zapata plot his delivery routes along back roads, often driving up and down steep mountain passes and cruising alone through nearly deserted mesas to avoid these Border Patrol checkpoints. There's a lot more to the article, but you can read it on SantaFeReporter.com. And that is really, really good news. Now, we're going to take a break in a second, but since we talked about drugged driving, I have a article here in regard to that, if I can find it. Let's see. Okay, study. Cannabis is the least risky drug for driving. This is by Steve Elliott of Hemp News. That's hemp.org. Steve has been a guest on our show a few times. A new study from Denmark confirms what cannabis advocates have said for years. Marijuana is much safer than other substances when it comes to driving impairment. When it comes to driving under the influence, alcohol is still the most deadly drug. The results were published online in the scientific journal Accident Analysis and Prevention. They show that with a blood alcohol level of 1.2 GL, which is grams per liter, which is 0.12% BAC, I have no idea what that means, or higher, are 30 times more likely to get in a serious accident than drivers with any amount of cannabis in their systems. The results, of course, call into question the wisdom and justice of marijuana, per se marijuana DUI laws, such as those instituted in Washington state by Legalization Measure Initiative 502. Until the per se limit of 5 nanograms per milliliter was made law by I-502, police had to prove actual impairment in contested DUI court cases. After examining data from almost 2,500 serious car crashes in 6 European countries, the authors found that marijuana poses little threat of driving impairment. While strict and sometimes zero tolerance, cannabis driving laws have been adopted in many places around the world. Science continues to show that these laws exaggerate the risks of driving stoned, reports truthonpot.com. There is even, in fact, evidence which suggests marijuana makes you a better driver. I want to read that. Particularly, I don't like driving when I am using cannabis. A driving simulator study from 2000 from the UK, the Department of Transport, found that unlike drunk drivers, drivers under the influence of cannabis seem aware that they are impaired and compensate for this in a number of ways, including driving more slowly. Another study published in 2011 by scientists at nonprofit research group IZA found that states that legalized medical marijuana experienced a drop in auto accident-related deaths. Using data from the Fatality Analysis Reporting System, FARS, for a period of 1990 to 2009, we find that traffic fatalities fall by nearly 9% after the legalization of medical marijuana, the researchers concluded. Again, that's on hemp.org. I've mentioned this before on the show here that I just did a test of THC when my normal blood test was due to happen. I wanted to see how many nanograms of THC was in my blood. So I took a 50 milligram canna capsule the night before and smoked a couple of joints and finished using any cannabis by about 2 a.m. And about 12 hours later, I took a blood test. And again, as the article stated, that most states are using a 5 nanogram per milliliter of blood as a DUI level. And I tested 12 hours after having any cannabis. I tested at 499 nanograms per milliliter of blood. So I was 100 times the DUI limit that is set by Washington, Colorado, and some other states that are medical marijuana. So something has to be done, and it really, there needs to be some kind of proof of impairment and not what kind of levels of marijuana is in your blood. We'll be right back with more news and your calls after these words.
It's all about the 420 MMJ Radio.
THCF Medical Clinics are the premier physicians clinic in the United States. THCF has offices all across the United States from Hawaii to Michigan. THCF Medical Clinics has helped approximately 150,000 patients obtain their medical marijuana permits to legally possess, grow, and use medical marijuana. If you have chronic pain, multiple sclerosis, or any other neurological degenerative disease, or if you have any gastrointestinal disorders such as GERD, irritable bowel syndrome, or if you have AIDS, cancer, spastic disorders, seizure disorders, or glaucoma, call us at 1-800-723-0188 or visit us online at hemp.org. Again, the number is 1-800-723-0188 and the site is hemp.org.
Hi, this is Larry Love from Medical Marijuana Radio. Please listen to this important information about a great device by magicalbutter.com to make your oils, tinctures, and butter.
Magical Butter is a device with a microprocessor-controlled program sequence designed by a scientist and a chemist to precisely extract the benefits of various herbs. We believe in herbal remedies and using pharmaceutical pills only when medically necessary. Our device is simple to use. Combine herbs with butter or oil, press a button, and walk away. Magical Butter does everything else. It grinds, heats, and stirs. Please browse our site to discover how to eat the treat. Thank you for your support, and have a magical day.
Again, for your tinctures, butter, and oils, that's magicalbutter.com. This is a great appliance. Use coupon code LOVE to get $20 off.
Serious Seeds is your source for quality cannabis and sativa seeds. Serious Seeds are the creators of legendary strains like AK-47, Bubblegum, Chronic, Cali Mist, and White Russian. The AK-47 is probably the most awarded strain on the planet. The high THC content of AK-47 makes it the perfect medical strain for patients seeking quick pain relief. Cali Mist is an almost pure sativa. Female medical cannabis patients have reported that this strain helps relieve menstrual cramps. Serious Seeds just acquired another Dutch high-quality seed bank, Magus Genetics. From now on, Serious Seeds can offer you even more award-winning strains. The fine folks at Serious Seeds strive to breed the best cannabis genetics that they can find, so patients can rely on the effectiveness of their medicine. Go to SeriousSeeds.com to grow your medicine. That site again is SeriousSeeds.com.
Hi, as you know, over the next few years, the cannabis industry is going to explode into a multi-million-dollar industry. 420webdesign.com is your affordable design provider. 420 Web Design prides themselves on fair prices and a grounded staff. They listen to their ganjapreneurs' website needs. Getting into the marijuana industry doesn't need to break your bank. Our sites come with tons of features. Just a few of them include responsive designs for mobile viewers, easy to update platforms, built-in SEO and SMO tools, enterprise-level security, video tutorials, database backups, Google Maps, onboard analytics, and much more. This is backed by a decade of website design and development experience. For all of your 420 web design needs, go to 420webdesign.com. Again, 420webdesign.com. Check them out.
The medical marijuana. The medical marijuana. Radio show.
Hey, this is Scott from Rare Dankness. You're listening to Medical Marijuana Radio.
That is Scott from Rare Dankness, a Cannabis Cup winner a few times, but first place with Moonshine Haze a few years ago in Amsterdam, and it is a fantastic sativa. So we are back. I want to give out the numbers. Listen, listeners out there, keep me from reading these articles, won't you? I'd rather talk to you than to read stuff, even though the information is very, very important. The phone numbers are 505-514-0098. Also in the 575 area in New Mexico, 519-4MMJ. Arizona, if you're listening, 623-399-4MMJ. In California, 818-8500-MMJ. And Skype me at MMJRadio. And let's see what else I have for you today. Give us a call, and I will stop the reading, and I will stop the recordings just to speak to you. Okay, this next one, juicing cannabis is turning out to be a really, really healthy way to use this plant, and it's non-psychoactive because all the acids, THC, CBD, hasn't been converted with heat in order to give you the psychoactive benefits from cannabis. So this is 5 reasons to juice your cannabis. This is from July 18th, yesterday, from leafscience.com, a great resource for marijuana, cannabis information. Besides fruits and vegetables, it turns out cannabis can be added to your juicer as well. For those unfamiliar with the juicing phenomenon, the process of making cannabis juice is surprisingly simple. All you really need is a blender/juicer and some raw material. Now, I'll make a quick comment on that. You really need a very industrial type of juicer because cannabis is a very tough plant. So, and it's also good to juice it with some other vegetables at the same time because it's a very bitter taste as well. But what are the advantages of juicing raw cannabis? Here is a list of our top 5. Number 1, to avoid the high. Now that's not in my top 5, but it might be if you're using cannabis for people who are elderly or children, of course. So again, number 1 is avoid the high. While the downsides of getting high are often debated, the fact that some people prefer their cannabis without psychoactive effects, this is where juicing comes in handy. Since heat is required to convert the THCA in raw cannabis into THC, its psychoactive form, juicing provides a way to obtaining many of the benefits of cannabis without getting high. Number 2, ingest higher doses. Along the same line, not getting high makes it easier to take higher doses of cannabis and therefore more of its medicinal components, also known as cannabinoids. One doctor who recommends juicing is Dr. William Courtney, founder of the Cannabis International Foundation. According to Dr. Courtney, THC can be taken in doses of hundreds of milligrams when in its acid form. However, once heated, the tolerable dose drops to about 10 milligrams a day. Cannabis juice can also contain CBDA, the acid form of CBD. Number 3, versatility. Cannabis juice can be mixed with a variety of other healthy ingredients to create delicious drinks, perfect for any time of day. It's also easier to drink cannabis juice while at work, in the car, and other places where smoking or vaporizing might be inconvenient. Number 4, avoid smoking. Juicing, like vaporizing, allows you to avoid the negative effects of smoking. Although cannabis smoke has not been linked to lung cancer, it can irritate the airways and lead to minor respiratory symptoms such as chronic bronchitis. Thus, juicing may even help you breathe a bit easier. Number 5, prevent disease. While cannabis is often seen as a treatment for chronic diseases, incorporating cannabis into your diet can be a great way to maintain health and prevent disease. Cannabinoids have been shown to possess antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and neuroprotective properties, making them a powerful dietary supplement. As Hippocrates, one of the most famous physicians in history, once said, "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food." And cannabis sounds like a good way to start that routine. The problem, of course, with juicing is, at least here in New Mexico, the producers, of course, cannot grow enough plants in order to have some going for juicing. Juicing generally, as far as I know, takes place in the vegetative state of the growing of cannabis, and it's just very hard to be able to grow the medicine enough, for bud and oil and all that other stuff, and also have some for juicing. So many people, I understand, that have PPLs are actually growing a sea of green type of grow, where they can constantly be picking some of the vegetative leaves and be juicing every day. So that's one way, and hopefully with plant counts and legalization in other states, there'll be enough medicine to be able to juice. I think it's very, very important. So if you'd like to call in, please do. And let's see what else I have for you. Okay, here's an article that I have to read. If you're anybody out there is under 18, maybe this is not for you, but this is a public service announcement for both men and women. A marijuana lubricant that gives you a 15-minute orgasm. July 8th, 2014, from this website is called lamada.org. Women, their partners, and in general marijuana and sex lovers are in luck. Foria was born to satisfy their cannabic sexual desires. Thanks to the imagination of Matthew Gerson and the Aphrodite Group Collective, it is a lubricant designed to delight female stoners. I don't think you have to be a stoner. According to Gerson's definition, this is the first personal lubricant with marijuana designed for female pleasure and to achieve natural euphoric pleasure, end quote. It comes in a small bottle, like the best perfumes, and it costs less than 64 euros. It uses and effects are more than interesting. The idea was conceived in California, of course, it would have to come from California, that's where everything starts, by a group of medical marijuana patients and caregivers whose main objective was to ensure that cannabis access was offered in a high-quality, safe way. Furthermore, they have the mission to empower women to access pleasure and well-being through natural therapies. What's in it, you ask? The gel, which is to be applied directly into the vagina, contains medicinal cannabis oil with THC and cannabinoids from marijuana grown in California. It is complemented with coconut oil, especially designed to give a pleasant fragrance and, above all, to prevent fungal infections. Besides, quote, it's delicious to eat, says Gerson. According to its creators, it is 100% natural and free from chemicals, additives, sugars, and gluten. Oh, gluten-free, cool. It is edible, vegan-friendly, and its pH is low to care for the skin and maintain the vagina's own healthy pH. The result? A vicious, smooth, slippery substance. Not vicious, it's, how do you pronounce that word? Anyway, that will allow you to enjoy at least 15 minutes of continuous orgasms. Each spray contains 360 milligrams of THC, enough for 30 sessions. It is specifically designed for women because, according to its designer, the tissue in the vagina, vulva, labia, and clitoris is very sensitive and super absorbent, both internally and externally. As a consequence, the product can penetrate without any barrier. Relaxation and pleasure without pain. According to Gerson, the effects of the lubricant depend on the woman, especially on how each woman responds to marijuana itself. However, he ensures that one of its main characteristics is that of relaxing. It has been designed to promote natural lubrication, reduce pain and tension, and create the necessary relaxation to fully enjoy the sexual experience. Gerson says that the sensations it causes in women have been tested by a group of over 100 volunteers, guess what, who are trying the product. Say they feel more fulfilled, they have more complete sexual relationships, and they have achieved pleasure in the most sensitive parts of their body. When they told me about it, I didn't believe it, but I decided to try it, says one of the women who tested the product in a video released by the manufacturer in a true TV shopping style. Then I started to feel a special sensation throughout my whole body. It was great, another woman said, that she experienced pleasure for more than 15 minutes continuously, with the feeling increasing gradually. Female testimony. She noticed that bad feelings such as hatred and stress disappeared, to be replaced with an overwhelming desire for the moment to go on forever. Never before had she experienced so many orgasms in such a short period of time. I'd never known anything like it, she states in the recording. If I can find that recording, I'll play it for you guys next week. The explanation for this result is according to the expert, that the sense of pleasure is prolonged and becomes increasingly strong, producing numerous small orgasms, building to one more intense, definitive orgasm. The product is inspired by the historical use of cannabis as an aphrodisiac. Phoria could therefore be termed a therapeutic aphrodisiac substance, an assertion which is also supported by the latest scientific research, highlighting how beneficial marijuana can be to health. We believe that health and pleasure are naturally inseparable, says Gerson. According to Matthew Gerson, the lubricant could be the solution for many relationship problems. He says that medicines, compounds, and even all sorts of drugs are typically used to enhance female pleasure. Doctors encourage it while we offer something much more healthy and enjoyable, he says. However, at present, Phoria is only available for medical marijuana patients in California. Everyone else will have to have patience and wait. Wish I knew that when I was in California last week, but we'll be back right after this.
Girl, I hear you're a mover. Well, I'm just about a mover too. Oh, they tell me you're a groover, mama. Well, I just want to groove with you. So come on, let's move. Listen, I hear you're a sweet talker. Well, baby, I've got some sweet talk for you. Yeah, you're a real cool walker, mama. But I just wanna walk with you. So come on, let's walk.
We are back. So, let's see. Hillary Clinton was doing a lot of interviews and so forth over the last few weeks, and marijuana did come up, and she, of course, says there needs to be more research, and I do agree that there does need to be research. And, of course, we've been unable to do research here in the United States because of the Schedule 1 crap. So here is Sanjay Gupta responding to Hillary Clinton's comment on marijuana on CNN last week.
I don't know if Hillary Clinton saw your documentaries on weed, Dr. Gupta, but you famously changed your mind on this. Tell me why there are real benefits to this stuff.
Well, first of all, I also agree that more research needs to be done. I think everybody agrees with that, although it's very difficult to do in this country, and I'm happy to talk about that. But let me remind you, Brooke, that marijuana has been used as a medication, was used as a medication for a couple thousand years, even in the United States up until 1943. It was part of the formulary from which doctors would prescribe medications. It was there, and there was research at that time to support its use. Even now, we have certain medications, something known as Marinol, which is a marijuana-based medication, which is available in the United States. Another medication known as Sativex for patients with MS is available in 20 countries around the world. So there's a lot of research that's already gone into many of these things, although much of it admittedly not happening in the United States. We talked a lot about the use of marijuana for epilepsy, for example, and seeing some of these children who have responded to the use of medicinal marijuana when other drugs didn't work was quite astounding, and I think that stimulated more research. Let me tell you, the reason why not, Brooke, is sort of as fascinating medically as it is socially. It is a Schedule 1 substance. And what that means, just wrap your mind around this, what that means is that it is categorized as something that is among the most harmful substances and also has no medicinal use. It's preordained as having no medicinal use. So you can imagine a researcher who says, look, I want to study this, I want to get funding to study this, I want to go to the various agencies to get approvals to study this, and the answer comes back, well, look, it's Schedule 1, it doesn't have any medical use, that's not going to be a very fruitful laboratory experiment for you. So it's just very difficult in the United States to do these types of studies. So I agree with Secretary Clinton when she says that more research is necessary. Part of the problem, though, is that it's just so challenging in this country at this time.
Can you just remind me before I let you go, what was the #1 reason why you changed your mind?
Look, when you look at the United States research, what I think you see ultimately is a pretty distorted picture. Most of the studies aren't actually looking for benefit, they're looking for harm. They're not getting the approval to study that benefit. For me, it's when I started looking outside the country, when I started looking at laboratories that were not dependent on federal funding, when I started listening to this chorus of patients who I had previously dismissed as malingerers and people who just wanted to get high, and I realized that they in fact not only were getting benefit from this, but oftentimes getting benefit when nothing else had worked. That started to change my mind, but then it also prompted an 18-month journey around the world to go see these things for myself. And now I believe that I think it can have real benefit to people, and sometimes it can be beneficial when nothing else has worked. And it's improper to withhold it as a result. And by the way, I think Secretary Clinton said the same thing. In certain situations, it may have real merit.
Yeah.
And of course, it does in many, many situations. I just noticed that after I read the article on the 15-minute orgasm with cannabis, 2 or 3 of my listeners just disappeared. Now, I don't know whether they went to go take care of themselves or run out to California and buy this oil. I have no idea, but or maybe I offended some people. I hope not. And what they're missing by not staying here and listening to these next articles are very important. This one is a new study on how marijuana affects autism, and it will undoubtedly fuel the flames of the debate over medical cannabis, particularly given its implications on the uncharted use of pot in kids for medical conditions. This is from hempforfuture.com. The study on how marijuana affects autism is not the first to suggest cannabinoids can be helpful not only to older people with conditions like cancer, glaucoma, and even AIDS, but younger people who we have spent decades trying to protect from the supposed delirious effects of weed. That marijuana affects autism in a possibly therapeutic way adds to the chorus of parents of children with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, that's ADHD, who have suggested that, who have suggested the mild sedative can supplement or even negate the need for stimulant and speed-like drugs commonly used to treat the condition, such as Ritalin, Adderall, or any of the high-potency brethren. The study, published in the journal Neuron, examines how marijuana affects autism in children and possible therapeutic applications of the drug in such contexts. Researchers have examined the effects of marijuana on mice in similar fashion, and the Joint blog quotes earlier research. Jointblog.com, by the way, is another great resource for news. And they say that Danielle Pumelli of UC Irvine and Olivier Manzoni of INSERM, the French National Research Agency, treated mice exhibiting symptoms of Fragile X syndrome, a disorder that causes autistic symptoms, with novel compounds that correct the signaling of the endocannabinoid transmitters in the brain, which cannabinoids can do. The mice showed dramatic behavioral improvements in maze tests measuring anxiety and open space acceptance. University of Maryland neuroscientist Bradley Alger did not participate in the most recent research on marijuana's autism effects, but says that the study opens more doors in drilling down the mysteries of autism. Quote, it is a very stimulating finding, which could be a real turning point in understanding tonic endocannabinoids and how this otherwise mysterious lipid signaling really works. Researchers say much more study on how marijuana affects autism is needed before considering the therapy a practical application for the condition, particularly in children. Anyway, that is really excellent news. And let's see what else we have that's interesting today. I won't read all of this, but this is from the Huffington Post, HuffPost Politics. Republican-controlled House backs Obama's rules enabling marijuana banking. I think that says it all. I don't need to read the article. They're going to loosen the rules so that dispensaries and people in the marijuana industry can actually make a deposit and have their money in a safe place and not have it in shoe boxes and safes and so forth. So we'll have to keep our eye on this. This was dated on July 16th. Another headline I'll read for you is Seattle's first legal marijuana shop ran out of weed in 3 days. The name of it was Cannabis City, and it opened on Tuesday, and it ran out of weed by closing time on Thursday. They just started selling adult use marijuana last week. Alrighty. This is really excellent, and I hope that this will work for people with macular degeneration. But a new study shows cannabinoids may delay visual deterioration and prevent blindness. This is by Elizabeth De Moya, and this is dated July 8th, 2014, from marijuana.com, Health and Medicine Science Studies. A study conducted by the University of Alicante in Spain found that THC may help to slow down vision loss caused by retinitis pigmentosa, RP. Now we can add RP to the list of incurable genetic conditions that cannabinoids are known to help, including glaucoma, Parkinson's disease, epilepsy, and Alzheimer's. There is no known cure for RP, a degenerative eye disease that affects the young and old. RP is a form of retinal dystrophy that causes the photoreceptors in the eye to degenerate. It often affects the light receptors on the outside edge of the retina. Patients diagnosed with RP may have tunnel vision or not be able to see at night. Eventually, RP may lead to blindness. So far, the only thing that has consistently slowed the process is a daily dose of vitamin A, palmitate. Palmitate, P-A-L, palmitate. Okay. The study by Spanish researchers used synthetic and highly concentrated form of THC that they referred to as HU210. According to, if you double 210, you get HU420. Okay, we'll have to work on that later. According to Nicholas Kusina, PhD, the study's lead investigator, HU210 has been proven to protect neural cells for a variety of brain and neurological conditions. Rats that were injected with HU210 performed significantly better on tasks that required visual coordination. The rats who received the cannabinoids also had a 40% more photoreceptors than untreated rats, as well as 70% greater sensitivity to light. The new study, titled Neuroprotective Effects of Cannabinoid Agonist HU210 on Retinal Degeneration, boy, that's a long name, was published in the journal Experimental Eye Research last February. As stated in the findings, these data suggest that cannabinoids are potentially useful to delay the retinal degeneration in retinitis pigmentosa patients. So that is good news, and says the U.S. National Library of Medicine estimates that 1 in 4,000 Americans has RP, or about 100,000 people. This statistic makes RP one of the most common diseases of the eye in the United States. Let's see. There's a gentleman in Davenport, Iowa. Cancer patient says pot conviction, a death sentence. A dying Iowan who claims that he grew marijuana to treat painful cancer faces a possible prison sentence after a conviction on drug charges on Wednesday, a prospect that he views as a death sentence. Scott County jurors delivered the guilty verdict on 4 felony drug charges facing Benton McKenzie, 48, whose wife and son were also convicted alongside of him. McKenzie says that he used the plant to extract cannabis oil to treat painful grapefruit-sized tumor on his buttock caused by a rare aggressive cancer. McKenzie's case has drawn national attention, and at a time of increased debate over whether to legalize marijuana for medicinal use. Because Iowa law does not allow the use of marijuana for treatment of McKenzie's condition, Judge Henry Latham barred defense attorneys from saying that he used marijuana out of medical necessity. That ruling further infuriated many Iowans who have reached out to support McKenzie since his arrest. A free Benton McKenzie Facebook page has 1,797 likes on Wednesday afternoon. McKenzie believes that the judge's ruling sealed his fate with jurors who might have been more sympathetic had they learned about his condition. I am still flabbergasted on how a judge can court order me not to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, he said outside the courthouse after the verdict. It's an abomination of justice. Much about McKenzie's future will now be decided on August 28th, a sentencing hearing. Because of the 2 earlier felony drug convictions in 2000 and 2011, McKenzie can be labeled a habitual offender. That's just terrible. That's why Obama needs to make national for every state medical cannabis. It needs to be available for absolutely everyone. We'll be right back after this.
to be mine. To be mine. Come on. To be mine. Come on. To be mine. So be mine. Woo! So be my baby. 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 The medical marijuana. The medical marijuana. Radio. Radio. Show.
Okay, so next week I will be at the Ink and Art Tattoo Expo. I'll have a little booth there. You come and talk to me. It's at Buffalo Thunder next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Saturday, I will be there most of the day, and we'll be broadcasting from the Ink and Art show. I'm not sure what time, most likely at 7 o'clock, like we always do. And I'll be doing interviews around the expo. Come down to the Ink and Art Tattoo Expo at the Buffalo Thunder Casino here in Santa Fe next weekend. We'll be back again with regular shows after that, but come see us and say hello and enjoy the graffiti show and everything else that's going on there. I want to thank my two radio mentors, both with the initials HS. Thank you for your inspiration. Don't forget Wednesdays with Larawana. I do a 5-minute show on CannaWannaBuy.com. CannaWannaBuy.com. Short 5-minute show with some interesting stories. Let's see. Any suggestions for guests? Info at MMJRadio.com. Again, info at MMJRadio.com.
Shalom.